Okay, I look kind of wild, and been a day. So I have this oil heating up, and I'm about to put this pile of lean pork chops that I chopped up, try to put them into smaller chunks. And then I'm gonna put the magic stuff on there, 𝐀𝐫𝐫𝐶. And let me tell you, the aroma that just permeates the kitchen when you are starting a batch of gandules is out of this world. And of course, then you follow it, the sofrito. You're gonna want to use, I use these pigeon peas in English. Then you have your olives. Most people don't realize that olives are in there. Tomato sauce. Then of course you want to follow that up with your rice. After you let all that stuff simmer, then you throw in your rice, and that's when the magic happens. So I'm making it a day ahead of time because I believe that gandules, the longer it sits, the better it gets. So I'm making it tonight, and then I'm gonna like reheat it slowly tomorrow for the dinner in 𝐀𝐫𝐫𝐶. Steaming up. Oh, smells so good. Steaming it up. Woo! Yum. So you can see I have a big ginormous pot that I am making. That is the magic sofrito. So good. Get this meat to cook up. Pretty semi-done. Maybe char a little bit in the oil. Now I add a very generous amount of sofrito. Yeah. And if you know me at all, you know that I cook with love. I always tell all my kids that my secret ingredient is, I didn't tell them my secret ingredient until they were older, but I just kind of feel it as I go. And so, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm going to come in there with those pigeon peas. Get them all out. Still some hanging around in there. You can always have the option to use dried ones. A lot of traditional Puerto Rican people do. It's harder to find dry ones, and it takes longer because you gotta soak and do all those things. So I cut out that middle step. Now I'm adding the just tomato sauce. I'm doing double what I normally do because I am making a really large batch. Normally I would only use like half of that, but I am really doing extra. So I did extra meat, extra gandules, extra sofrito, extra sazon, extra rice, extra oil. So this batch is gonna be large. And I'm gonna come in here with the sliced olives. Now I didn't put a ton of extra in here because sometimes people are different about those. They really kind of cook down so much that you wouldn't even really notice them. Let's see. But they add so much that you would notice if they weren't in there as far as the flavor goes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this cook down. I let this simmer for, I'm gonna bring it to a boil, and then I'm gonna cover it and let it simmer for like 25 minutes before I add the rice. And then you put the lid on until the rice is done. And of course, don't forget the salt. So see it come to a simmer, and I take that back. I usually do like 15 to 20 minutes. So I'll kind of like check and see how it's cooking down, and then we will add the rice in. And usually it's between 25 to 35 minutes, depending on really the size of the pot. You can see how it is starting to really marry all the flavors together. Have a few more minutes left before I put the rice in. Ooh, it smells good in here. Okay, I'm gonna start by adding in the rice. I'm adding about, okay, this is about 5 cups, and I'm gonna come back through with 3 more. Come back with 3 more, and what you wanna do is you wanna add in the same amount of water as you did rice. Because you already have all of this liquid in here, then you're gonna stir it and turn it down some and put the lid on. So I do exactly the same amount of water for the amount of rice that I did. That's 5. And that's 3. You want to give this a stir. Now, I like to use, and I may get some flack from all you Puerto Rican friends out there. I think we all have our own way of doing, all cooks have all their own ways of doing things. I give it a really good stir, and I use my wooden spoon to stir, really press down and make sure nothing is sticking on the bottom. However, once it cooks, my mother-in-law absolutely loved it. On the very bottom of the rice, and when I let it come to a boil, give it one more stir before I put the lid on it, and then we'll start the timer for about 25 minutes. But in the meantime, I want to show you, I use long grain, I use parboiled, what does it say, that parboiled rice. The reason why I like to use this type of rice is because it doesn't get mushy. With all the cooking that you do with it and how long it's together, each grain stays separated, and so I like it best. To me, it makes it where it doesn't disintegrate or mush, or I don't like mushy rice. So it holds up well with the method of making the gandules. So We'll need to bring this back to a simmer, and then I will give it one good stir and put the lid back on it, and then I will put my first timer at 25 minutes and kind of give it a gander through the lid. That's why I like a glass lid, because you want all of the liquid to be absorbed in the rice. Ooh, and this is what the finished product looks like. Yum. So good. It is the best. We normally only have it like for Thanksgiving, but I guess we're gonna have it a couple times this year because I gotta make sure that my son gets this for his birthday. So, Gandules. And here is the finished product. So, so good. Yum. Delicious. Oh, so good. Woo. It's gonna be amazing.